We have often called this a success seminar. So let's start off by defining what we mean by success. There are basically 6 requirements for success. Everything you could ever want can be subsumed under these 6 categories. The first of the 6 requirements is peace of mind. All the great religions and metaphysical philosophies and works in psychology are aimed at giving and showing people how to achieve far higher levels of peace of mind, because we intuitively recognize that without peace of mind, nothing else has very much flavor. By peace of mind, we mean simply freedom from fear, freedom from anger, and freedom from guilt, perhaps the 3 major psychological problems of the 20th century. Peace of mind that passeth all understanding, the feeling that going to sleep at night completely at peace and at harmony with ourselves and waking up in the morning with the same state of mind. The second requirement for success is high levels of health and energy. We know that no matter what we have in life, if we do not have our health or if we do not have the energy to enjoy our lives, we don't get very much satisfaction out of it. And as soon as we achieve any kind of peace of mind, we immediately turn to achieving higher levels of health and physical energy. The third requirement for success is loving relationships, the ability to enter into and maintain long-term, intimate, mature relationships with other people. And we know in our studies of healthy human beings that loving relationships are really the hallmark of the self-actualizing, fully functioning personality. As soon as we've achieved a certain level of peace of mind and a certain amount of health and energy, our thoughts immediately turn to our relationships with other people. The fourth requirement for success is what we call financial freedom. And financial freedom means that we have enough money so that we don't worry about money. For one person, this can be $10,000 a year. For another person, $100,000 a year wouldn't be enough. But it's absolutely essential that we achieve the point of financial freedom where we are not preoccupied with where our next rent check is going to come from or where our next paycheck or where the money to pay our bills is going to come from, because we cannot enjoy life if we're preoccupied with money. The fifth ingredient for success is worthy goals and ideals. As human beings, we are not capable of functioning at our best unless we have clear goals to which we are committed and worthy ideals which we believe in. And many writers have said that man's need for meaning and purpose is the greatest single drive in human nature, and I think that that's very, very true. And we'll talk later on in this course about how we establish worthy goals and how we move toward them on a step-to-step basis. And finally, the sixth ingredient of success is a feeling of personal fulfillment, or what Abraham Maslow called self-actualization, the feeling that we are becoming everything that we are capable of becoming as human beings, that we are fulfilling our full potential as we move along. And this feeling of personal fulfillment, this sense of self-actualization, is the hallmark of the truly mature, fully functioning human being. Now, we all measure our success relative to our ability to enjoy more of these 6 ingredients of a well-rounded life. And again, we come back to our question, why is it that so few people can be described as successful? We live in the richest, most abundant society in all of human history. We have living standards and opportunities undreamed of just a few years ago. And still, the vast majority of men and women, as Thoreau said, lead lives of quiet desperation. They're unhappy with their work, they're unhappy with their families, they're unhappy with their health, they're overweight, they smoke too much or drink too much or worry about their bills all the time. Less than 5% achieve any real lasting success in life. At least 80% of all people reaching retirement age in our society today end up flat, broke, penniless, dependent upon others for survival. Only 5% or less achieve financial independence in their lifetimes, in spite of 40 years or more of well-paid work and limitless opportunity to learn and grow and improve themselves. One of the reasons for this lack of success, I think, is that we come into the world with no instruction manual. We are born as the most advanced and complex organism in our universe, but we have no directions for getting the very most out of ourselves as a human machine. It would be exactly the same as if we went to the store and bought a personal computer and took it home and set it up and found that we had no instruction manual, no operating instructions to tell us how to use the machine to get the very most out of it. As human beings, we're exactly the same. We come into the world with no instruction manual, and we spend the majority of our lives, the vast part of our lives, trying to figure out how to get the very best out of ourselves. And it takes about 30 or 40 or 50 years to do it, and then, as the old German expression says, too soon old, too late smart. We finally figure out how to do it, and we're in our 50s and in our 60s. One of the purposes of this course is to serve as an instruction manual for getting maximum performance out of ourselves. Now, in operating a machine, or in operating ourselves, The very first thing that is necessary is we have to understand how to operate ourselves as a human machine. Understanding of the basic underlying principles, laws, and concepts of our being is absolutely essential. And the second part is effort. Once we understand how we work, we have to make efforts so that we can apply what we have learned to achieving far higher levels of accomplishment and attainment in our day-to-day life. Most people, unfortunately, lack the understanding, and if they do have any understanding at all, they're not willing to make the necessary efforts. As a result of this program, you will find that it is much easier to make those efforts on a consistent basis than not.